Hello here and welcome again to another edition of Recruit Spotlight on Husker Online. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple, we have brought you these exclusive content interviews really since March. We've got another great one to get to, but before we get to that, Recruit Spotlight is brought to you by Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill in Lincoln and Tavern 180, both on 30th and Yankee Hill Road. They are a presenting sponsor, bringing you these exclusive interviews each opportunity we get here on Husker Online. Well, Steve Sipple, let's delve into this next edition of Recruit Spotlight. We're pleased to bring in Isaiah West, a very talented running back, one of the top 2025 running backs in the state of Pennsylvania at a Philadelphia St. Joseph's High School. Isaiah, first of all, welcome to Nebraska. It's great to have you on here, Recruit Spotlight.
It was great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, talk about your story first and foremost. You're at one of the top high school programs in the state of Pennsylvania. You guys are having a great season. What kind of year have you had so far for St. Joseph's?
It's been a wild year. We started off with IMG Academy. Obviously, unfortunately, we took the L, and that's okay. But we bounced back. We came a long way since then. Mm-hmm. But I've just been taking it game by game.
Just do that, Isaiah. Big running back from Philly with us, Isaiah West. Why do you see yourself as a fit in the Big Ten Conference? You're looking at Big Ten schools. Why do you think you'll be a good fit?
I feel like the Big Ten, they're one of the big contenders in college football. I always want to play the best of the best.
Your running style looks to me like you'll fit. You're listed 5'11", 210. Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
Bigger running back. You like to run between the tackles, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
You feel like you're a fit for that league?
Absolutely.
All right.
And now you've been on a number of trips. You've been to Penn State 3 times. You were at Wisconsin a week ago, and now Nebraska. What have you been able to learn, and just how valuable is it to go see some of these places, especially during the football season?
No, it definitely holds value going to be able to see it in person for yourself. Everybody can tell you what it's like, and coaches can send you videos and links and all the hype videos or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you get to see it for yourself, it's really different.
What are the impressions you take away from this visit so far? I mean, what did you see today that when you go to bed at night, you'll be thinking about?
One thing that's going to stick with me is the fan base. I mean, y'all crowd participation here is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that scene like? I mean, you guys landed in Omaha on Saturday morning and pulled into Lincoln about noon. I mean, just pulling into Lincoln for the first time on a game day. I mean, what was that experience like for a guy that's probably never even stepped foot in the state of Nebraska before?
Yeah, I was saying to Brian, I didn't see a single person not wearing a Nebraska jersey. It was just a sea of red everywhere we went.
You like that?
Absolutely.
What about EJ Barthel? You met him. You worked out. Was it a satellite camp in the summer you worked out at?
Yes, sir.
And was that one of your first interactions and dealings with this new Nebraska staff?
So actually, I've known EJ since my freshman year. Before EJ came to Nebraska, he was over at the UConn.
Yeah.
And he had recruited me there as a freshman. But then he went over to Nebraska. And that was my first time interacting with him since he got over to Nebraska.
Why do you think you've clicked with EJ Barthel?
EJ always tells me that he sees me as like a pro-style back. He's always comparing me to CMC. He used to train with him up at Carolina. And that's why I feel like we click.
Who's that running back?
CMC, who's that?
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
hello.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guy to compare yourself to. So you can catch the ball too.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, you look like on film you like to catch those swing passes and go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What Coach Rule, have you been able to talk to him? I know on a game day it's real busy, but what have been your meetings and interactions thus far with Nebraska's head football coach, Matt Rule?
Honestly, I haven't talked to him much. I've only talked to him once over the phone, actually.
Okay, so this is Saturday. Tomorrow, is that something that would happen Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
What as you kind of look ahead, what are your visit plans from here on out? You were at Wisconsin, you've been to Penn State, you've been to a number of places, now Nebraska. What's kind of next for you on your calendar?
Nebraska's looking like it's going to be my last stop during the season. I kind of want to finish my season, and then we'll get into junior days, official visit, and all that other stuff later on.
What are separators? when you look at trying to determine which programs will be your finalists, what are the factors that are going to separate schools?
I want to go to a coach that I feel like is going to develop me to be the best running back I possibly can. I want to be able to take this thing as far as I possibly can.
Okay. Makes sense.
So what's your team right now in the state of Pennsylvania? Where are you guys ranked right now in the state?
We are number 1 in the state.
Number 1. So
that's pretty good.
How much that state champion, like you're shutting down the visits for that reason. When do playoffs start for you guys?
Soon. We have one more regular season game.
What playing at a school like St. Joseph's, you guys play IMG Academy, but yet you play a lot of local teams. How do they put all that together at a place like St. Joe's in terms of just how you line up the schedule and all the different teams you guys play?
So typically we have our national games at the beginning of the season, and we kind of use that as a way to set a standard for ourselves. And so we go from that, and then we get into the Catholic League season. So we kind of set our season up in different sections. We got our national schedule, our Catholic League schedule, then we'll roll into the playoffs.
Okay. Now, we're joined by Isaiah West here, running back from St. Joseph's in Philly. As you size up the Big Ten and in college football in general, you go to these trips, you watch these games closely. Where do you think you need to improve as a player? What parts of your game do you think about, okay, I probably need to get a little bit better? Any of them? Or are you ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll, but I think there's always something you can improve on. I want to be able to make people miss an open field.
Okay.
I feel like I'm always making people bounce off of me. I'm breaking tackles, but I got to be able to make people miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you again for joining us here on Recruit Spotlight. We're pleased to be joined by St. Joseph's 2025 running back Isaiah West out of Philadelphia. Recruit Spotlight is brought to you by Tanner Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, 30th and Yankee Hill Road in Lincoln. I do got to ask you this, Isaiah. You also got to go to the volleyball match.
Oh, yeah.
How many volleyball matches at the college level have you ever watched or attended before this week?
I've watched a few. I've never seen any of them in person, and this was quite the experience.
So you walked into the 1 versus 2 volleyball match. Did you have an expectation of what you were walking into? And what after seeing that type of stage for a volleyball match, what were your thoughts?
No, I knew that Nebraska and Wisconsin, of course, were well known for their volleyball. I knew that they were 1 and 2, so I wasn't surprised when I walked in and I saw the amount of people that I did. But I think it really spoke to y'all fan base. Like, y'all are wild. Like, y'all are heavy.
He got tickets too. He had seats.
Oh, really? He got tickets. It wasn't a recruit. It was
they got recruit passes on his unofficial, but he was able to find a place in there.
Oh, really? That's pretty. Yeah, that you'll remember that for a long time.
Absolutely.
Now, when you look at these schools too, do you lock in on offensive lines? Are you watching offensive lines and wondering what you'd be running behind? Maybe.
Of course.
Do you?
Running back can't eat with the O-line 80. So.
Yeah. You got a big good offensive line at St. Joseph's.
For sure. I love my boys.
Well, Isaiah, before we wrap it up, Sunday you'll go back over there. What are you hoping to kind of gain on the final part of your visit at Nebraska?
I'm hoping to see the facilities a little bit more. Of course, speak to Coach Rowe. I feel like I haven't interacted with him a lot. And get to spend some more time with Coach EJ.
Okay.
Well, welcome to Nebraska. It's been great having you on Recruit Spotlight. We've enjoyed getting a chance to talk to you.
I'm glad I could be on here. Thank you.
All right.
Good job, Isaiah.
Thanks again to Isaiah West for joining us here on Recruit Spotlight on Husker Online. Recruit Spotlight brought to you by Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, 30th and Yankee Hill Road. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan signing off here for another edition of Recruit Spotlight.